Hello, welcome to math. I'm going to make this video so you can see what the expectation is for today. I'm going to log in as my sample student. Oops, you don't need that part. And then click on the snowflake. Here I am. I have a lot of things going on today because I had some other assignments from other classes and my sample student is signed up for all of them. So here's what we are doing today. Algebra Activity 1.1. So if you see it on Google Classroom, it's listed as Lesson 25, which you see down here in the corner. So this is what we're going to start with today. Here's our first, oops, sorry. I should have this deleted because I already did this today. Look at this graph and use it to solve the problems. Mrs. B's class is graphing the number of pencils each student handed out at the safety fair. Look at the graph and see how many pencils each student handed out. So we have Randy, who handed out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to write it over here so I remember. Okay. Mary Beth, who handed out 3. Danielle, who handed out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoops. Can I erase that? 3. Oh my gosh. 5. Hello, 5. 3. 6. And 4 for Ryan. Ugh. Okay, sorry about my writing. 5, 4, 3, and 6. Which student handed out the most number of pencils? So remember when you're looking on a graph, the graph that goes, or the line that goes the farthest on the bar graphs, the bar that is the longest is going to be the one with the most. So Danielle has the most because her line goes all the way here. So on this one, we're not writing 6 because that's how many. You're writing what her name is. So Danielle. Let's have a space at the beginning. Oofda. Okay. And then which student handed out the least number of pencils? So now we're looking for the smallest number. So if I look over here, I see that 3 is the smallest. And when I look from here, I notice that that's the shortest line. But remember it said which student, so I'm going to type in Mary Beth's name right here. All right. So this is all we need to do on this page, and then you'll click onto the next page. This is what the second page looks like. We have the same bar graph. We still have Randy, Mary Beth, Danielle, and Ryan. We're writing the equation this time. How many pencils do Randy and Ryan hand out all together? When I see this word all together, let's see if it highlights the right spot. Ah, why is it highlighting lower? I mean higher. Let's try that again. Okay. When we see this word that says all together, we know that that means to add. So it says Randy and Ryan. First, we're going to put Randy's number in right here, which is 5. And all together means to add. Remember, if you're pushing the plus sign, if you're using your actual keyboard, push shift and then the plus and equal sign together. And that'll get that. If you are using your iPad keyboard, you can kind of swipe down on your numbers or your letters. I just learned that the other day. And then you can put the numbers in there too, whatever works for you. But if you're actually using the keyboard, you need that shift key. So we already did Randy. Now we're doing Ryan. He has 4. We're going to bring this equal sign down. And our answer is C. So 5 plus 4 equals how many? You can add them. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, sorry, just kidding. Instead of 9, we're supposed to put C, even though we know what the answer is. Okay. This is because this is still kind of graphing with algebra. Sorry, I kind of forgot. So 5 plus 4 equals C. So C is our answer. How many more pencils does Randy hand out than Mary Beth? We'll start with Randy. Randy has 5. Mary Beth has 3. Ah, gosh. Really struggling today. And then right here we have to figure it out. Is it adding or subtracting? This time it says how many more. So if it says how many more, that means you're subtracting, okay? This picture helps us remember, here's one group and this group is larger, so how many more? So we're going to subtract equals, and C. Our answer is the C. So this is just helping us as our first step in using algebra with our graphs to put that letter C in there instead of the answer, okay? So we're just taking this information and making sure we know how to write this equation is what this step is. So don't get frustrated. We will move on to actually finding the answers in just a minute. This one, how many more pencils does Danielle hand out than Randy? So D for Danielle, 6. And it says how many more, just like up here, so we know we're going to subtract. And then which R? Is it Randy or Ryan? Randy. So Randy is 5. Okay, equals sign, we'll just bring that down. And then a C. Okay, when we move on to the next one, we will be completing the actual equation instead of writing out just this beginning portion, okay? This is the third page of our assignment today. We still have the same graph, okay? We're using this graph to write the equation and solve the problem this time. So, sorry, I got a little ahead of myself at the beginning of the last one. So Mary Beth wants to hand out the same number of pencils as Danielle. So right now it says how many does Danielle hand out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Danielle hands out 6. Mary Beth hands out 1, 2, 3. Okay, this picture again, how many more pencils will Mary Beth need? Okay, so first we're putting D for Danielle. And she is 6, D6. We found those answers right there. How many more? Means we're going to either add or subtract. Which one? We are going to subtract. And then M for Mary Beth, hers is 3. So for right now, we are going to write C, okay? So notice that this part right here says write an equation. So that's what this is right here. This is our equation. 6 minus 3 equals C. So this is our equation. Solve the equation. So 6 minus 3, which is, we're counting backwards, 6, 5, 4, 3. So now we know that 3 equals C. Okay, so this is just the equation. Now we know 3 equals C. So I know that you might have done this in your head and you've already done 6 minus 3 and you're like, why can't I just write 3 right away? Because you're showing us what the 3 is, okay? So 3 is the correct answer. So now it says check your work and fill in all the numbers. So now we're just taking them from here and putting it down here. 6, we know this is minus 3 equals 3. And over here, we're filling the same thing. It's going to be just exactly from up here to down here. 3 equals 3. Seems silly, but this is just checking your work, that you are finding the answer, and your answer is the same as what you already had up here, okay? So if we were to do these things on paper, with paper and pencil, we'd need to kind of show all these steps. So this is why it's like this on our work as well. So last part right here, is the equation true? Does 3 equal 3? Oh yeah, yep.
Yes.
Yes, and it'll ding at us,
Yes.
hopefully. Well, maybe not. Okay, so now down here it says since, and we're writing C, since C is 3, we found out, she needs to hand out 3 pencils. Okay, so there's a 4th page on here. Notice this is 3 of 4. So I'm going to have you do that independently. If you have questions, please let me know and I can help you out with that. But I'm hoping that this piece and this just making sure we know step by step will help us out with the last one. So let me know if you need help, but I hope it goes well so we can say that we know how to do algebra. Keep up the hard work, guys.